Hello everybody, and welcome to Marvel Avengers Alliance number 1 here on G4G. Today we are looking at a potential PvP team-up that has been pretty fun so far. They are 5-5, but are actually 2-7 when I take into account the overpowered follow-up teams. Spitfire and Star-Lord, this team has a major issue with. Other than Spitfire and Star-Lord, these guys do pretty well and are undefeated. So, it is Team Troll Nuts, because I don't really have a good name for them, but they're very, very trolly. It is Scarlet Witch, and I considered using the Infiltrator form of Stripper Witch, but I am going with Avengers Blaster Witch because of the passive that she has. Everybody's afraid of something, the random attributes and everything. So, for her Hex Spheres, Thorned, Stealthy, Grace, and her personal AI ISO of Misfortune. For Loki, he is running his personal EISO of Blue Deck. For those who do not know, Blue Deck is a reference to Magic the Gathering. In Magic the Gathering, blue decks that are predominantly based on blue mana or the blue color, often feature a lot of counters and interrupts, everything like that. They tend to be magical decks, wizards, flyers. A note about this: it doesn't always prevent. I think that's because maybe the prevent is a psychic action. So let's say that Kuurth tries to use her level 2. He will counter it, and he will pop Kuurth, but then Kuurth is able to still do it anyway. So it bears note that this may not always work as well as you intend. I'm also running Resonant. Loki has stamina issues, so if you don't want to run one of these, you can easily run the tactical PvP ISO that we got a few seasons ago, because he needs stamina. He really does. Combat casting, despair, thorned. Honestly, Hall of Mirrors really needs to be combat casting. I'm going to leave it in place the way it is. You know, mostly because, like, my other ones are out. Like, I'm out of them. I'd have to buy another one. But I'm going to leave this in place because you do deserve to see the weakness of it. And Loki is absolutely capable of ruining a match with his level 9. One of the practice fights he used level 9, because it's not stealthy. The enemy agent got an extra turn off Deb, did a Blackest Void, did a Lunacy. Victor was there, Victor countered. Wow, this is a very high-powered team. Alright, so we don't have an infiltrator. The first thing you always need to do is look for a Warding Essence or a Mystic Shroud. If there isn't, Loki can feel free to do this. Now, Kuurth may counter it. Kuurth didn't counter it, so the next thing I'm going to do is apply Cursed Mirror on Angrir. Well, actually, first thing I'm going to do is Soulfire him for the tactical bonus. Then I'm going to Curse Mirror him. So Angrir and Loki fighting, this is like, you know, this is slappy nuts over here. The two of them are going to go crazy. Mind Games procs, Counterspell procs, and there you go. Funny. Typically, Generalize, when Mind Games goes off, Generalize works. So I'm going to use the Crooked Branch. This is no longer in the game. This was from a previous Spec Ops. I do apologize that I'm using this, that you can't get it, and there is unfortunately no clone for this right now. What this does is it says any magic done on my side of the field causes a heal. Scarlet's magic, Loki's magic. I have a lot of magic on my agent. Lots of healing. Once Despair comes in, though, it'll be a bit of an issue. So we get a Fear Me from Kuurth. The first thing we have to do is check for Despair. She's not running it. So, because they don't have a Tactician, the best thing you can do is get out Hex Spheres as early as you can. It often makes lots of attacks backfire. And as you can see, Scarlet Witch double healed. That's because of Resonant, and it's also because of the Crooked Branch. But the Blackest Void comes in and ruins the day, like always. So Loki is going to do Trickster Seal. This is where the Despair is on my team. It changes their buffs into debuffs. And as you can see, massive stamina issues on Loki. All those free actions and quick actions are a problem. And now, because the Blackest Void has ruined my Shroud and my Phased. Alright. The first thing I'm going to do is dump magic over there. I'm going to cower up because that's, you know, that's pretty cool. I'm going to get my agent phased again. When phased is removed by a removal effect, you are allowed to get intangible again pretty quickly afterwards. When you remove your phased action, that's when you are not allowed to get phased pretty quickly. So, I'm going to go ahead and put up the Chaos Shield, which is going to help Loki, because this is where my Grace is. Their heals don't work because of Despair. And of course, I'm getting really, really sick of Kuurth now. I've been able to tolerate Kuurth, but today, and the amount of cowards that I've had to deal with has just made me I'm so done with Kuurth now. Yep, here we go. The big, everybody gets stunned because everybody's brokenly possessed. But Loki's having some fun with that. Oh, lovely. Well, that's fortunate. We're really fortunate that he hasn't done the generalizing one, which is, of course, as you know, extremely common. The Crooked Branch definitely has the capability of cowering because of its debuff component. If it was just a buff, it'd be okay. But you can cower off of the Crooked Branch. Well, that was the heal ring. So that was very interesting. That was the heal ring, but Despair is already coming in pretty handy. We'll disorient the enemy team. Kuurth may detect that and counter it. And as you can see, Angrir counters it. So that's why you have to watch with Loki's level 9. If you don't give it combat casting, you're in for some trouble. Well, there's the Despair on their team, but it failed. Angrir's getting worked down, which is nice. We still have to deal with the spam summons, though. And now Despair has fallen off of him. Yay, magic warding. Just what we need. So I've now removed their buffs. And I've given myself magic warding. So we're in a little bit of a better spot, but we got to get Loki's health up. My enemy agent is attempting to swipe Kuurth. Why is she stonebreakering twice? Why is she getting 2 turns? Very, very strange. Alright. Time for probability field, just like the cube. I have had, in PvP, sudden death go out on the enemy agent. And because I used Runamaroth, he was near death, but he didn't clean his debuff, so he ticked down the next round. Had like 200 health. We are getting really lucky with these summons here. I really need to get Despair back on the enemy team, though. God. I'm so sick of the cowards. I am just so sick of the cowards. And there it is. There it is. That's exactly what we don't want. Alright. Oh, cool. She's got some quick actions going on over here. So Chaos Shield restored some stamina. Enemy team's getting pretty weak, and they're hitting that recharge point, which is good. Purged. There's Despair again. Their buffs are now changed into debuffs. Got rid of Angrir. Awesome. Of course, the ridiculousness with Purged is still happening over here. May as well put out Doom for fun. Why not? Keeps my agent phased, and it's just something more for them to deal with. Again, the glory of staying phased has really worked out. So this team definitely has an issue with Spitfire Star-Lords. They're not doing very well against that team, and for some reason, Spitfire does not go for my agent the way that she does on my primary team. When I'm running Archangel and Psylocke, she always goes for my agent, and she winds up whiffing because he's phased. And even if follow-ups happen, they don't go through. But with this team, typically, there's that extra turn again. Why is she getting extra turns? Because of the counter? Okay. That's kind of ridiculous. Scarlet Witch is often taken out by Spitfire. I don't know why, but my agent is not the main target anymore when it comes to this team. Bonk. Yeah, and, you know, let's go out with a bang and let's have a friggin' cower proc. So Kuurth should probably melt to the dots on this one. So she does. So there you guys go. You can see the sustain these guys are capable of. And, you know, he has a lot of fun when Angrir is there. Him and Angrir just basically get into a slap battle over magic. Let's try one more so you can see a little bit of flair. Hopefully it's a different kind of team. Hopefully it's not a Spitfire team. Ah, Dr. Doom and an agent. Interesting. So first we gotta check for warding essence. Does not seem to be. Ring Imperial's not gonna work in the first round. And see, that's the other thing is, it gets protected. But I'm going to do Mind Games on Dr. Doom, because we obviously know how many turns he's taking. And the agent got countered with something. I wonder what the agent was trying to do. The Crooked Branch is actually going to work well against Doom, since he does have a lot of energy attacks. Which is funny. I mean, it's funny to see Doom. So there's Reverberation. And again, Reverberation. And again, I mean, Reverberation's chewing him up. For some reason, why didn't Cursed Mirror work? Hex Spheres is pretty crucial to get out as soon as possible. Running a blaster, you have to worry about tacticians. But at least Mind Games actually worked. And again, another Reverberation pop. So if we look at the agent, Trickster Seal turns those escutcheon stacks on its head. Even though you're immune to neutralized, it still actually removes them. So, Soulfire, Dr. Doom, or just whiff. You know, it's because it's like fucking Kuurth all over again. But you'll notice Dr. Doom is generalized. That's because that is one of the most common things that happens when you get Mind Games on somebody. I cannot believe I'm seeing a Dr. Doom in combat, though. I saw one at the end of the last PvP season, and I was like, what? Wow, Loki's doing an interesting amount of work here. It's kind of funny. But as you can see, look at Loki's stamina. Major problems with stamina on him. You can run a free action stamina restore, or the agent can give him stamina from maybe like the Cosmic Cardinal or something. He needs it. He really does. So Chaos Shield. That's going to restore some stamina. Ring Imperial's actually proccing, which is kind of funny. Remember the days when you absolutely hated Ring Imperial and it was such a bastard? So sometimes that happens with Loki. But he's still, on the next attack that actually goes through, it will heal, which is good. So I'm just going to go ahead and come unfazed and exhaust them. Because they're so close to death. I'm really surprised to see a Dr. Doom team. Now, here on Scarlet Witch, we're going to go ahead and do her version of the improbability field. Ta-da! So there you go. Let's actually take a look at this guy's stats. There's Team Troll Nuts for you. They're okay. They're not the best team, They're not the best team that I've ever thought of. I would say Spitho is definitely one of the better ones there that I've had fun with lately in terms of inventing. This one, meh. They're okay. They're very, very trolly. They just dominate the battlefield in terms of control and buffs and debuffs and turn things on their head, but... that's what he was popping. So that's something that you can do with Loki. As you can see right here, he pops the Scroll of Rudamaroth. This guy's armory is so sad. He's had some heat. Wow. Combs still. Alright guys, there's Team Troll Nuts for you. Let me know what you think down in the description. Let me know of any tweaks that you might run to it. What I'm gonna do now is give that lethal ISO back over to Kuurth before my defense takes any defenses over here. And I'm gonna go ahead and ship this video out to you guys. Take care everybody. Hope you're enjoying PvP in our recently extended season. Whatever, play Dom. Peace out, everybody.